early on in January, we started getting kind of inklings that something might happen with regard to COVID in the United States. And this was when there were just very, very small numbers of cases. So we went ahead and created an online school plan at that time, so that when we had to transition, it was really, really easy for us, right? We transitioned to online, and simultaneously, because we already had the academic thing down, we created a whole focus on community life and student engagement. That worked out really well. And so over the course of the summer, I gave a number of webinars, so these were kind of town halls, to parents and faculty about COVID-19, the science behind it, how it's transmitted, what prevention strategies are, how you prioritize prevention strategies, basically really focusing on the science. And we prioritized these safety strategies. So PPE and hand sanitization are our highest priorities. Our plan was based on the idea that we can't control whether people will get COVID outside of our campus, but what we can control is not having it transmitted on our campus. We know that being online is not as efficient as being in person, so we wanted our kids to have as normal an academic year as possible to get them ready for college. It's a very difficult situation, and there is a lot lost when you isolate adolescents and teenagers at home. So for the little ones, it's if they can't go to school, their parents are then potentially inhibited from going to work. And this is a time in which there's a lot of economic strain on everybody in our community. We also created a separate online academy. So we had the online school. Some parents weren't comfortable coming back to school, so their students went only virtually. Faculty who weren't comfortable coming back to school taught in that online part of the school. The vast majority of students and teachers came back. You know, where we can and do things around campus, we do social distancing. We put up about 15 circus-style tents outside, so we use the outside, right? The outside is much safer than enclosed spaces. So the kids are outside much, much more than they used to be. We created barcodes all over the seats on campus, so when students sit down, they scan in, so we know where people are if we need to do any tracking and tracing. We put air purifiers in the rooms. We have, all kinds of things, right? And, to date, there hasn't been a single on-campus transmission that has occurred. Now, we've had a great year, and what we're really excited about now is we've just added testing to our capabilities. So we bought 20,000 of the Abbott Labs rapid antigen tests, and we also became certified to be a CLIA lab who could administer those on campus. So even when we went online in the spring, so that we use a contractor for food service here, Sodexo. So when we went off campus, those people did not have a job anymore on campus. And we went to the Sodexo folks and said what was going to happen, and they didn't have a job anywhere because this was happening all over the place. So we decided to set up a food service where they would make food and we would give it away to people in the community in order to continue to employ them. Then when it came to our employees, and there was trepidation in the beginning, but once people got here and got used to it and saw that the kids adhered to it and they adhered to it and how safe it is to be here, we've just really kind of moved into it now being the norm and knowing that, we're a really safe workplace. Like most people that work here, we decided at some point to be educators. For me, I always think about one description of education, and that it's the process of passing power from one generation to the next, right? And so the work of being an educator is helping kids grow up so that they can be those future empowered leaders, thoughtful thinkers. It's just an investment in the future of the world.